if you're checking out my shirt, I'm gonna start this off with, "Ooh yeah, Vancouver."
Well, we live, so you can go ahead.
What's good, Vancouver? How you doing? This is your boy Kava One,
Yes,
and this is the Beyond the Lyrics podcast.
Yes, sir. It's your man K Ski,
Hell yeah.
aka Bilal, aka Mr. Ock, or you can just call me the Black Wally. You know what I'm saying? And good summer day today, August 1st.
Yeah. It's coming fast, hey?
Bro, the July just went by so fast.
I
It's
know,
crazy.
man. I spent half of that shit on the couch.
Oh, speaking of which, how you healing, man? I know.
It's all good. I got some war scars here. Y'all can't really see that. It's decent. You know, it's like 14 stitches.
Ooh.
Yeah. I accidentally drove a razor sharp knife through my bicep, and I was all hemmed up for a bit, but you know, you got to find a way to make lemonade. So I've gone on a beat producing tear in that time.
Yes.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
It's like
yeah.
It's like every day he's like, yo, I just did this beat, and I'm like, you done sent me like 15 beats.
Yeah, I did an inventory from because I date them all. Like, you see the dates are always in the name and shit. So from like May 27th to like yesterday, there was like 22 beats or some shit like that. So, and I'm probably like 17 of them are from like when this injury happened, like, so July 12th till now. So
just been
it's
on
been
the tear.
good. I've been in my pocket, you know. Def's been working too much for us to be able to record, and I don't know what it is, man, but if I write too much before I can get back into the studio, it's like that shit just gets lost in the sauce, you know. So
Yeah.
I figured it was just more productive usage of my time to you know, sharpen the sword at making beats and get back onto that, because I was kind of neglecting it for a while, until, you know, me and Def can get our schedules kind of more music and studio friendly.
Well, I feel like as an artist, like sometimes you just got to get it out your system.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's why I dropped that first episode of my little patio flow.
I saw that. I like that, man.
Because you know, I'm always writing. You know what I mean? I always got lyrics, and you know, sometimes it just takes a while before I get in the studio. But I'm like, yo, I got to get this out.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So while I was up there getting my green thumb on the patio, and I was like, you know what? Let me go ahead and do a little something special over the summer called Patio Flow.
Yeah.
Where I drop some bars. So you know, so I just feel like as an artist, man, sometimes you just got to release that. Yeah.
And it doesn't always have to be like content for other people. Sometimes it's for you. Yeah. You know? Stuff like going to the ciphers, for example, like going to Icon Hip Hop Ciphers or something. Like that's the place where I go to like fuck up, you know? Like that's where I go to freestyle and experiment and do all this other crazy shit that I've been kind of thinking about, but like haven't actually attempted. Mm-hmm. And like that's the place where I'll find like new cadences and like new ways to stack rhymes and, you know, switch up syllables and all that kind of shit. You know, some guys go there to do their thing, you know what I mean? Some guys like this man over here can just cook no matter what.
Yeah.
But
if you don't know who we talking about, we got another special guest up in the house chilling with us. We got my man Hard Body Dreams, representing that one order.
Hard Body to God.
In the building.
Yeah. ONEORDER.
And shout out to him and One Order. They did their thing at the Method Man, Redman,
hell yeah,
DJ
man.
Primo concert. Woo. Yeah. Had me out past my bedtime. But they did their thing. They definitely represented Van City lovely.
Yeah, no surprise whatsoever.
So it's been a month, and nowadays post COVID a month is like a year.
Yeah.
So it's been a lot of things going on over the past month. So before we bring our first guest up, let's get caught up to speed on some of these current events that So one of the things that popped up, the Olympic ceremony, opening Any thing you want to talk about, or did you see it?
I gotta be honest, man. I didn't watch it like the whole thing.
Same here.
I let the internet do its interneting, and you know, sometimes the narratives get spun by people, but sometimes it doesn't need much spinning. It kind of sells itself, you know. And like, I could quickly at face value kind of assess it, and I was just like, that's all I can say. You know, like.
I feel uncomfortable. Nah, but just my thing is like I feel like they did the mockery of the Last Supper. Like, you know, it's going to cause controversy.
Yeah, like, okay, even if, because now you're hearing the backlash, the counter backlash wave, where they're like, no, this was Greek mythology. It had nothing to do with, and like they're like, all the Bible thumpers are not educated enough. You know what I mean? They're so quick to be offended and blah, 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 blah. But like, these are smart people that are like creating and coordinating these events. You know what I mean? They got artistic directors and all that shit. You telling me they didn't think that this was a possibility to be like, get the fuck out of here, man.
Yeah.
Like,
and just to be clear, their Greek mythology is nothing but ripping off African history.
Yep. Facts.
And then they remixing and bouncing and flipping on something.
Yeah, from Hebrews to Negroes. You know, like what Kyrie, that tweet that he put out about that documentary. I've been trying to find that because I actually want to watch that.
Yeah. I send you some stuff, man. I got not only stuff online, but man, I got books and pages. When I was working at the bankruptcy court, dog, I'll be printing little booklets of information up and stuff, and I still got that stuff from 20 years ago. It's in the box in my
I remember, like, this is the thing where people, you know, used to just stereotype hip hop and just make it sound like it has nothing positive to offer, but like there was a lot of times I learned from hip hop, and like, so the reason why I have heard of this before is I was a huge fan of Boogie Down Productions. And I remember, why is that?
Yeah.
And he literally breaks down in chronological order, names, places, and all of this shit. And I'll go grab the Bible and like counter checked it.
Yeah.
And I was like, God damn. And then, you know, and then the internet came, like, you know, probably about 10 years later. And then I was able to had access to all of this information. And, you know, and then there's polarizing figures like Kyrie Irving.
Yeah.
Shout outs to Kyrie, man. He should
Kyrie
be playing in the Olympics right now, by the way.
For real.
Fuck Nike.
Okay, and since you on that one, what about your man Brown? Like, come on, bro. Like,
oh, it's both of them, man.
Yeah, because how you going to be the NBA champion MVP,
Finals MVP,
Finals MVP? So that means
freshly minted trophy. They just put your name on that shit.
And I was talking to one of my boys online, and like, okay, I can see they grabbed Jason Tatum over Brown. Okay, that's a debate, but come on, then you're going to pick
White.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? The third guy on the pole. Yeah.
And then also, who's the other Celtics they got on there?
Drew Holiday.
Like, there's no way. Like, I love Drew Holiday, great ball player. I think he's the third best player on the Celtics, and White the fourth best player.
Yeah, true.
You can argue between 1 and 2 with Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, but it's a travesty.
And the fact that Drew brought that championship experience, and that's something you can't really put a money value on. You know, you've been watching sports, man. How many times have you seen a team that couldn't get over
the hump?
They were so close, and then they just get 1 or 2 guys that got a chip before, maybe 2.
Yep.
And they all of a sudden they got a whole different energy, you know.
Oh, I saw some of the games, man, and Drew came up with some plays, man.
Crazy game.
Whether defense, whether it was on defense or offense, and also too, if Jaylen Brown didn't play, they not winning the championship. Like he did his thing and stuff.
Or LeBron.
Yeah.
Where's all the haters that said that guy's washed up right now?
Oh, he's doing this thing and
hell yeah, like,
oh well, he an alien, man. I don't know.
Yeah, like
when he came out of high school, if I would have been in high school, they'd be like, "You gotta check that dude." I'd be like, "Hold on, let me see his birth certificate, dog."
Do you think Jordan on the Wizards would be doing this in the Olympics?
Nah.
Right?
Nah. I mean,
just saying.
I mean,
I'm just stirring the pot. I'm just stirring James Harden. That's me right there.
So another thing that happened, we had the Biden Kamala switch.
Oh,
and you know what's so funny is that a while ago, me and my wife was like, this dude, he's just too old. And it wasn't about the age. It was just about, like, when somebody is elderly.
Yeah, y'all are like 3.5 years late for this shit.
Yeah, for real. Like, what the fuck? You for years you kept telling us you being ages. It's like, no, that mother can't. He don't know where he at. He looking. Like we all got elderly people in our family that we at some point we took care of. Mm-hmm. And just seeing the way he walk, his gait, it's like, no, bro, this isn't it.
Yeah.
And they made us feel bad, and then all of a sudden they did the
Yeah.
They did the switch. So what are your thoughts about that? Or is
man, like, it's funny. I gotta be honest, a lot of the things we're talking about, like in the current events, I'm not so much I'm not up to snuff on, because it just feels like a blitz full of false information. And I just shut down when that shit happens, I'm just like, psh.
Yeah. Well,
it's all conditioning. So, if I give it 10 minutes of my time, it's going to change my frequency enough. It's also going to feed information to the algorithm and start sending me some other garbage. Yeah. It's going to distract me in many of the, non-productive ways.
We're in the age of the Dajjal. We're in the age of the Dajjal, which means the Antichrist, which means the deceiving one. So we're in the age of deception. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
I'm aware that, of the move they're making and this and that, but I just, like, you can't. There is no truth. There is no, like in boxing, there's like the red corner and the blue corner.
Yeah.
This is like, there is no blue corner or whatever. Horrible colors to try and use for this example.
Well, it's about,
but you know what I'm saying? Like,
it's about demoralizing. It's about demoralizing people.
It's which kind of propaganda do you want to, like, believe today? Like, anything but the truth is the option.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I try not to pay too much attention. I pay more attention to what how people are reacting to the shit.
Yeah.
And watch the hive instead of be part of it.
Okay, so did you see about I can't stand this dude, but did you see Satan Yahoo go to Congress?
No, I heard he got a standing ovation,
like 50 times or something.
Yeah, and he was acting, and he made some, obviously a false proclamation that there's been no civilian deaths there.
A bunch of that. Well, that's all he does. All he do is lie. So, but just the fact that pretty much a war criminal got invited to Congress, and they were just clapping and falling all over this dude, and it's just disgusting, and just another sign that America is falling. It's
Yeah, war criminals are getting all the juice from America in the past year, man. They traded that arms dealer for Brittany Griner, who takes a kneel at the past All-Star game. She kneels for a country that bailed her ass out of jail and made the worst. They call it the worst trade in sports history, right? That arms dealer, the merchant of death, traded for Brittany Griner, who can't even, like, be thankful to the country that saved her ass.
Yeah, it's
rough.
That's what I mean. Like, it's just so much stuff going on. That's why, like, since a month since we last did this episode, it's just like every day, you wake up and you pick up your phone. We're on a whole
different timeline now, bro.
Soon as you wake up in the morning, you pick up your phone, you like, okay, and then your anxiety, everything just
somebody hit the fuckery button on the Matrix.
But you know what?
Definitely.
You know what? It is what it is, and the righteous are always going to come out on top. You know what I'm saying? The righteous are always going to come out on top no matter what they try to do. The truth is the truth. Falsehood by its nature going to fall short. And that's what I see is their falsehood falling short and people calling them out on their shit. So they getting to the point where they're being desperate with it. You know what I mean? So it is what it is.
I think it's always important that people remember it's not what they're doing, it's what we do in response to that. And remember that we are always bigger than them.
Yeah. Yeah.
If they actually thought they could take control of us by now, they would. Yeah. We'd already be in shackles. It's because even them, as powerful as they are, they know that they don't quite have the cards stacked. Because they don't want to do it until it's a safe move. You know what I mean? Like, they want to make sure they've already taken your legs out from underneath you and you don't have an opportunity to stand. They want that safe bet bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, you know.
That's why, you know, I told my wife, I'm just done. I'm just done with it. Like, if a person come up to me trying to defend Israel and be like, well, you know, they got the right to defend themselves. That's why I'm like, okay, if you're going to be outraged at kids getting killed on this side, then you should be outraged for kids being killed on this side. And if not, then you're a hypocrite. You know what I'm saying? So I just see the hypocrisy, and like I told my wife, I don't know. Somebody come, I might drop kick them or something. I don't know. I'm just done with it. I'm just done with because before, like we said, when you mention something before, even though you got the facts, if it's not on mainstream, they're going to beat you across the head and be like, no. Yeah. But then as soon as mainstream start saying what you were saying months ago, then they like, oh yeah, it's just like, you know, I love my mom, but when I was talking about Joe Biden, she was like, please leave Joe Biden alone. I was like, Mom, the dude is ancient, like he can't do it. And then soon as they made the switch, then they start saying, well, you know, it was time for him to move to the side. And it was like, that's what we were saying months ago.
Kamala Harris is rediscovering her roots.
yeah, for real.
Oh man.
Yeah, and I think it's just gonna get crazier and crazier as we get closer to the election. So, you know, y'all buckle up for that. And but we're gonna talk about hip hop because we got a very special guest in the house.
Yes.
You know, we had my man Nakio here in January, and like I said, that's 7 months ago, 8 months ago, which is like a year. A year and a half in today's time.
That's 2 years post-pandemic chronology. But
you know, we messed up on the recording last time. We didn't have the homie Costia.
Yeah, that's before we had the secret weapon. Big Def over there. So we had to bring him back so he can be, you know, included into the episodes that are going to drop on the YouTube channel. And we're also going to be expanding soon, and
we got some things in the work.
Be doing some content, interviews, all kinds of shit, pop-ups
around the city,
around the city, events, interviews. It's going to be some cool shit. We're also in the process of seeking sponsorship as well. A lot of guys in the game, they gotta up their game at that kind of shit, and we're gonna be doing that soon. And and I'm excited to see what the second half of this year, how we're gonna close off 2024. It's been a vibe for sure.
Oh, definitely. So man, last time we had this guest here, I think he blew both of us away with
character, man. Holy
shit, his maturity and wisdom. You know what I mean? That's why I told him, I'm gonna tell my son, you need to take notes, nigga. He's same age as you.
Man, I was taking notes.
For real. You know what I mean? I was like, damn, I wasn't on it like that at that age. And he make me.
he's like Jalen Hurts. You know, he's always said the right thing at all times. You know.
For real.
Shout out Jalen Hurts. Fly Eagles fly. Oh, it's also the first day of football starts today, motherfuckers. How many of y'all know that? I don't know.
Football as in
preseason first game is tonight.
Who playing?
I can't remember. I think it. Let's look this up real quick since we got the magic of technology.
Shout out to my man Troy Vincent. Y'all probably don't know who that is.
I do. He's a former Eagle, man. Hell yeah.
Former Eagle, and now he's second in command in the NFL. I think he's like VP of operations. That's my high school buddy that I used to have the slap box and wood shop with and shit.
It's Bears and Texans, so we might get a look at Caleb Williams, #1 pick of the draft.
Okay.
That's going to be pretty cool. But without further ado, I think we need to
bring our guest up.
Get our young boss of a guest up here, Nakio.
I like the way you brought that, the young boss.
Yeah.
The young boss.
What's up,
bro? You can give a mic check.
Peace. What's up, family?
Good, man. How you doing?
I'm good, G. I'm good. I'm well.
I would say it's been a while, but I feel like I done ran into you in a couple of spots in the city.
We see each other, man. We see each other around.
Yeah. So how you been, man? How's it going?
I've been well, man. I'm just steady working right now. I'm trying to get back in my summer groove. Okay. I did tell you guys about a project I was working on.
Yeah.
And it's coming this month, man. It's August now. It's coming. Much longer than I wanted to.
Yeah.
Just because not having an engineer, like being my own engineer, and I want my stuff to be perfect too. So I always, the smallest thing just takes me off, and I gotta go back and go back and go back again. So yeah, that's in the works right now. It's a summer grind, man.
Summer
grind, yeah.
Well, and that's the thing, man. If you got love for what you do, you know what I mean. So you want to make sure what you put out represents what you had, the ideal that you had, getting it close as you can to that, what you had in your mind, your soul, you know what I mean? So I understand taking time to get it right and stuff. So you pretty much engineered it or produced it, or were you able to find some people you said you need to engineer?
Yeah. That was for like my next project.
Okay.
Yeah, because this one the vocals are down. I did get some studio time for the vocals.
Okay.
And then got it recorded. To name a few, like IR Evan, the brother at the Backend Studios.
Okay.
He did a lot of these songs, recording wise. Also, one of the songs, I think one song that's gonna pop the most. That was at what's that one called? The name's escaping me right now. Mm-hmm. It's this one off Commercial, in the same area in East Van there.
Okay.
That was a good experience as well. But engineer wise, I'm good. Okay. Because I've been working on my own stuff and like in the process when I started, I'm like, oh man, I want to engineer. Like while I'm mixing my songs, right? I'm like, yeah, this taking too long. Like, but now that I'm past that, I'm like, yo, I don't need that really.
Yeah.
Right. It's not really a necessity to me anymore because I have these skills.
Yeah.
And if I have the chance to keep rocking like that, I will. Now it just comes down to it's like a matter of time.
Yeah.
Right. Because I'm trying to push projects out, push songs out. Because at the end of the day, like people want to listen, right?
Yeah.
And people want to listen to the music, and if it's not there, then that's the biggest problem.
Yeah.
The way I see it.
Yeah. Yeah. I had a buddy, man, and he had a company. And he had the T-shirt, the belt buckle, he had all the marketing, but he didn't have a product. So it's like, yo, the T-shirt look good and the belt buckle, but where's the product? So you definitely got to make sure you have that product because that's your calling card right there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So when are you thinking about releasing that?
I'm gonna say it's August 1st. Put me on the spot. Let's say
hold you accountable.
Yeah, hold me accountable. Let's say it's gonna be out.
Yeah. Labor Day weekend.
Yeah. Oh, you talking about that's the 5th? That's the 5th?
Yeah.
This week?
Around that time. September.
Okay. I'm gonna say
yeah. People are home, people on their phones and looking for stuff.
And usually, it'll be an event.
Yeah.
And people have put out music on Friday's always the release day, right?
Yeah.
So, it's better than just August 17th. That's nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Back to school. It's going to be back to school. Students are going to be looking to get that last, bit of excitement before they're going to go up and down.
Yeah.
So, Labor Day weekend's always been a state I try to keep but
just some ideas, you know what I mean? Just some ideas for you. And so what were some of your takeaways from doing this project? Like, was there anything you wanted to get across on this project, or anything that through the process of doing this project you learned some things, like you're saying, just about engineering, you know what I mean? Is there any takeaways from going through this process? Or anything you wanted to do with this project?
Yeah. Well, one thing I set out to do at the start, was I was trying to capture the sound of what, you know, Vancouver as a whole, if I were to put that in a soundscape.
Okay.
And then, you know, that was what it started as. But as you guys know, you know, everyone in this room, right, makes art in one form or another. And the stuff you start on, it doesn't really, at the end, it's not exactly what you intended it to be right when you started at square one, right?
Yeah.
I mean, and that just comes with the process of taking things to knowledge to born, right?
Yeah.
From the first thing to the last step. So that was what I was trying to do originally, right? I was trying to get the soundscape of Vancouver. And then, you know, as I started writing, it kind of became this like storyline.
Okay.
Or it kind of became this storyline or this chronological thing in terms of sound, right? And I usually always, my project so far, I always end where I started. You know, and I'm still doing the knowledge to that in terms of what that means for me.
Okay.
You know, maybe I'm going in circles, or maybe I'm already home, right? I'm not sure which one it is, but you know, other things I did gain from this was engineering skills, of course, and more so being more intentional with my writing. Like I had to refine because when I started first writing, I might be speaking on things that I might not be deeply knowledgeable in, you know, just to get the rhyme off.
Yeah.
And so this time I was like, you know, none of that. Anything I write, it has to come from me.
Yeah.
Just trying to be more wise.
Yeah.
In my writing.
Yeah.
In the sounds I select as well. And of course, you know, one thing I learned along the way so far is, you know, a wise man does not speak on what he does not know. Right?
Yeah.
Wise man does not speak upon what he does not know. Peace to all the gods out there. That's something that I learned, and I stopped doing that in my music too, because, you know, even if other people could hear it, you can hear it when you don't believe in what you're saying. You can hear it even if you don't see me recording it. You could see the session, and you could see me, you know, saying these words that I don't really mean. Right? It's a difference in the energy behind the words, and that's what I've been coming into as well. Most importantly, that's what I focused on. Yeah, definitely the energy behind my projection of my voice.
Yeah. We actually talked about that last episode about being authentic. You know what I mean? So definitely, I feel you on that point. So as far as the music and stuff, did you pull some people to help you get this canvas? Who were some of the beat makers or that you work with?
Let's see. So about three of the tracks were me. The whole track was me. Some guitar, some bass, and then of course the drums, my favorite part to create. And then so two of those other beats were from BeatStars, right? These dudes from the States. I really liked the sound of those two tracks. And then the other one on there was my classmate that I grew up with. You know, he was on the same basketball team as me. You know, a friend that I've known for a long time. His name's Elias, and he goes by Eli. His producer name's Eli. Yeah, he got a really dope beat that I really stuck with. It's really stuck with me. So that one's on him by as well. As far as, you know, other collaborations, I got some homegirls on there, definitely. You know, I always need to. I feel like as you know, as a man with a more like deeper tone, you always want some color in there from a female voice or a higher tone. You know, at least that's what I found so far, and it also worked with my last project too. People are like, yo, who's that girl? Like, I like how you added the female vocals in there because there's variety, right? Yeah, so for sure, those are some collaborations that they fell in place.
I like that, seeing the artist, especially, you know, finding your voice and just you thinking like that, man, is lovely. We got Red Shirt Mike in the building. So quick question: when you laying beats down, so I'm pretty sure you start with the drum. When you lay a beat down, how do you, or is that different?
It depends.
It depends.
I don't got no structure. Like, I might just be playing my guitar, not even plugged into my computer. I'm like, oh, I like that. So the chords are going first in that situation.
Then you construct the beat around that.
And then I'll usually hear the drums from the chords. Yeah, it's honestly, it's easier for me that way. It's harder for me to hear the chords from the drums. Yeah. So, you know, there's no set order for me, but it's usually just freestyled.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
as far as making beats, yeah.
Okay. So did you say you had another project you was working on, or?
I got a couple that are started, but you know nothing's solidified except for this one.
Okay.
That's like for sure gonna be out.
Okay. So you going? So I guess that means we can see you doing some shows this fall.
Oh yeah. I'm trying to. I need to get in front of some people, man.
Yeah.
I need to get in front of some people, man. Definitely, yeah. This fall, by the end of this year, I'll have one in for sure. I will say that, yeah.
Okay. So one of the questions I wanted to ask you is, what do you think about the current state of hip hop? You know, it's good to hear from one of the young guns.
Current state of hip hop.
Yeah, like we kind of see where it's going and things. Any things that you notice that you like, you don't like, or you know?
There's a lot of things that I like.
Okay.
And there's also a lot of things that I don't listen to. There's and you know that happens to be the mainstream things, the mainstream stuff out there. You know, it's well, like to be frank, a lot of that's just bullshit, right?
Yeah.
The shit is bullshit, and
to keep it 100.
Yeah, keep it 100, and it does frustrate me, especially when I know that the kids are listening.
Yeah.
Right. It's not even like, all right, now I'm an adult, so I understand what I can take from it and what I can leave with it from these songs and the lyrics, but you know, I understand that I was also a kid listening to these things, and a lot of kids, they don't have the discernment to be able to pick and choose what to internalize, right, and what to leave there. So, you know, a lot of the trap shit, and you know, trap is a good genre, especially like I enjoy it musically, right? But it's like, let's not glorify these things. Let's not glorify them. Let's just speak on what we've been through. And the thing is, you know, I'm still young, so I'm still around a lot of kids, and you see it reflecting. You see what's in the mainstream, it's reflecting. Because these are the foods that they're consuming. These young boys, it's not just music, right? It's something that you consume just like food, just like water, you know. And the state of hip hop, to be honest, it's still in good hands. As long as Kendrick got that "Not Like Us" bumping, it's still in good hands. Because we can hear the two sides.
I was going to that. It's a perfect segue into the next question. So what do you think about this battle between Drizzy and K-Dot?
I mean, it's entertaining to say the least, but it is entertainment to say the least, right? I don't, you know, I don't know either of those guys personally, but you know, I do hear stuff that's going on. Both of them got a lot of money and power, and I get that, you know, it's a musical battle, but I really want to know who's putting money and power behind the things that matter. So you know what I think about it. I mean, it's cool, but it's not everything to me. Right.
I saw it kind of like the culture versus corporate. You know what I mean? And definitely not like us, like Kendrick changing dialogue and stuff. Like I can't even say fan no more and and the fact that he used freaky ass, like we used to say that back in the 80s and shit. Oh, this old freaky ass nigga, right? And that he used that, but that Not Like Us. That's crazy. That's probably the top song of the year.
You know, and you know, I see where he's coming from, because like coming from that perspective, because you know, To Pimp a Butterfly, Good Kid, Mad City, Damn, all those like in my top 10 probably ever. They're great projects. They're transcendental, right? You know, Drake has good music out there, but it's like recently too, and this is what I was speaking on the mainstream, like recently too, man, Drake has been on bullshit. You know, like he knows I don't know him, so I'm not gonna say he knows anything, but we can see that he has a top spot, and I feel like, you know, at that stage or at that level that you're at, you have to have a certain level of awareness and responsibility. And you know, it is apparent that he's bigging up girls, and he's bigging up a certain culture that, you know, tends to materialize women, and materialize a lot of things in life that matter, and you know, especially being, you know, black, or half black, half original, right? You're at the top spot apparently that this hip hop facilitates, and it's been made by us, and it's been made by original people. It's been built up by that, and to take that to the top spot and then kind of throw all the essence away from the origin, and you know, switch up to essentially medieval European culture, money and murder, right? Money, murder, and sex, right? Those are not African values, really.
At lower vibration, I feel you.
You know what I'm saying? Just to get to that top spot in that environment, and then switch up the values on our own people. It don't sit right with me, man. That's not right.
Yeah,
it's not right. You might still catch me bumping like nothing was the same. Some of the old stuff, but I mean, we see what's going on.
Yeah,
we see what's going on. At least those who do.
Those who know.
Those who know, we see what's going on, right?
And yeah, a dope song is a dope song, but I don't know, like, I remember K-Dot from Rigor Mortis. And so when Drake is like, he's the illest, I'm like, really?
Right.
Have you not listened to Kendrick?
Right.
You know what I mean? Or J. Cole? But again, like you said, entertainment is good entertainment.
Yeah.
And
man, a lot of the times I really do wonder what's like the one thing holding these guys from saying like, fuck politics, fuck everything out there. Everything that's shown is fake, because no one really comes out and stomps on the on the elephant, like, because we see it, like you said, the genocide going on. Of course, like propaganda media, it's just it's super apparent. At least if you got a pair of eyes, on your face and in your mind, then you can see this shit's going on. But the things I wonder is like, so why, if these guys up there claim to be righteous, or for the people, why does this keep going?
Why are you keeping quiet?
Yeah.
Till the time, that's why I was telling Hardbody. I was like, Malcolm X had a line where he said, if you want to know what's in the pot, put fire to it. So this event that happened, put fire to it. And it's funny because these cats would be like, oh man, Muhammad Ali was my hero, Malcolm X was my hero, Public Enemy. And then when it's time to be Malcolm X, to be Martin Luther King, they quiet as church mice. So I feel you on that. And again, we need the real artists to step up and speak truth to power. And it doesn't always have to be politics. It can just be talking about your life. Like, I really love what you said about, if you grew up a certain way, speak on it, but don't glorify the death, destruction, because now you misleading these young dudes. Now you doing the work of Shaitan.
Yeah, man, you always gotta keep the babies in mind, man.
Yeah.
If you're putting food on the table, you gotta know who's eating that shit. That's simple, because my mom never put nothing on the table with the intention to hurt me.
Yeah.
To be honest, even if some of the shit may have hurt me, right? It's not like
it was her intention.
Yeah, and she didn't really know what was going on, And to me, it feels I'll feel too ignorant to say that these folks, who are getting the most streams, they don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
They know what's going on, or someone in their circle does.
Oh yeah. Like, you got your peoples in the studio. That's why accountability. You need to have people around you be like, yo, dog, that ain't the move.
Right.
Instead of just yes man, like yeah. Nah. If you love me, let me know when I'm out of pocket. And if I know it's coming from a real place, my ego might take a little hit, but I'm be like, yo, my dog, he loved me, and he just, you know what I mean? So
that's right.
We need that accountability and stuff.
And me personally, if you can't take that to the chin and keep walking, then you weren't built for it. You might be in the wrong department.
This what I'm talking about with him, man. You know what I mean? So when I look at this, I'm like, okay, hip hop is in good hands right here. You know what I mean?
It will be. It is. It definitely is. Yeah. That's why it's important to look at the younger generation too, because that's who's gonna be up next, right? Especially like a lot of times, a lot of this shit escapes me because I try to, recently as I became like 18, 19, and I told y'all I was first introduced to like the scene out here, and now I'm like focused on, all right, what's going on out here? Because as far as I'm concerned right now, my own reach, the best way to reach kids or babies or any audience is my own environment. Right. You gotta blossom here first. And I've heard a lot of artists do say, go somewhere else, make a name there, and then you'll come back home, and then they'll respect you. But that's not the way that I see it right now. Because I have people that respect me out here, even if it's few. Even if it's few, it does, the number doesn't really matter to me. But I'm just happy there's not any of that, you know, mainstream bullshit going on locally. That's really popular, you know, as far as I know.
Yeah.
It all comes from somewhere else.
So what do you think can help the scene here amplify and get noticed, other than somebody chin checking Rick Ross? Like what else can we get this area known for? Because it's crazy that I be telling people back home in Jersey or Vancouver, I'm in Vancouver, and they're like, yeah, but now all of a sudden Vancouver's all over the place for the wrong reason.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So what?
I was thinking the same thing. First time I see Vancouver's name on any of those, you know, big, something like that. It's because someone had to, you know, try to go and hurt the big man. Rick Ross.
Yeah.
I mean,
so what? Anything? Yeah.
Okay, I don't know the story.
Well, what he played Not Like Us like 4 or 5 times before he left the stage. I don't know if he didn't know.
Doing that for clickbait so he could be like, I was in your country.
Yeah. Or maybe. Or maybe he didn't think Vancouver was down with, you know, like that and stuff. But I'll be telling people, look, don't think that it's just maple syrup and Rocky and Bullwinkle out this mud. You come up here if you want, and I don't care. I done been around the world. Wherever you go, there's real people who, you know what I mean. And if you carry something a certain way, you're gonna have to show and prove. You know what I mean? And but so what are some things that you see that's either lacking or should be more of to help get Vancouver in the spotlight? You know what I mean? Like I know unity.
Yeah, definitely unity. But also like representation.
Okay.
That's a big one for me, especially when someone might hear a dope song out of Vancouver, but you know there's no branding involved in their image or in the song itself that mentions where they're from.
Yeah.
Anywhere, you know, that so far that I've noticed, any song where someone is proud of where they're from, they let you know where they're from.
Yeah.
Whether it be the area code in there, you know, if they're banging whatever set, you know where they're from.
Yeah.
You know, they might just name the city itself. Yeah, definitely representation is big because there is dope music coming out of here.
Yeah, definitely.
But it's like we don't have that Vancouver branding, and it also I think it's a matter of time too because a certain sound has to develop organically, right?
Yeah.
I listen to if I hear a Memphis song, I know it's from Memphis. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or if I hear that Not Like Us, first 2 bars, you know it's LA.
Yeah, LA. Yeah.
So it's that sonic stamp. I don't think we've developed something like that yet. But I think, you know, in the shadows, you know, the things that I don't see, I think there's a lot of people that are building that right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was so on point, and you definitely correct. Like when you think of Miami, there's a certain sound. When you think of New York, there's a certain sound. LA, Texas. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So
see, it gets even deeper, and then
yeah.
The way I say it, we don't even have a broader soundscape yet.
Let alone the different spin-offs.
Yeah.
Okay. So we know you got your project that you're going to be dropping. You're going to keep us abreast to let us know when that's happening, and you're going to be getting out there doing some shows. Any other things you got going on other than work? You were in school last time we talked, right?
Yeah. I'll be back in school this fall.
Okay.
I'll be back in school this fall.
So you got a full plate. Work, school, music.
Yeah, I got a full plate. You know, nothing I can't handle. I just gotta double down. I just gotta be wise. There's nothing I can't handle by far.
Yeah.
You know what else I got going on? Studying. I've been studying, right?
Again, what are you studying? What are you?
A lot of things. A lot of nutrition, right? I've been studying history as well. You know, honestly, I'm trying to get the correct history of things because it's hard to find that nowadays. You know. Now, and I've been learning about myself as well through my brother like Supreme here, or Hardbody as you guys may know him.
Yeah.
Right? The knowledge of self is something that I've come into.
It's essential.
Essential, of course. A a lot of things coming, man. Videos, yeah,
Okay.
a lot of videos too. I've been doing video work.
Okay.
A lot of that, new skills developing. Honestly, I can't see the future, so I'm not gonna be like, oh, this is gonna happen.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of development coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I remember when you were talking about school, you were going to school for nutrition or health?
Yeah, originally I was in political science.
Political science.
And then now I'm switching over to like biological sciences.
Okay. Because I'm going to tell you, as a young old head, health and nutrition, you realize how important it is, especially as you get older. Like I was telling you, my wife got me going to yoga and stuff. And when I was younger, I didn't know what a hip was. I know I had a waist, but I didn't know what a hip was until I got older. And it's like, what's this? What's an IT band? What's a hip flexor and all this stuff? But the thing is, weight training is important, but the most important thing is nutrition. And I think is overlooked, especially people from our community. Just eating bad, you know what I mean? But we need more people getting into health and nutrition and even putting it into art. You know what I mean? Back in the day, what we talked about, you had cats who made songs talking about health and nutrition. KRS-One, he had the song Beef. You know what I mean? You had Dead Prez, they had a song, Lentil Soup is good for the youths, So what I want to say is take that wisdom, take that knowledge that you gaining, and definitely find ways to incorporate it in your music and your storytelling. So how long you got left in school?
A long ways.
You got a long ways?
Long ways. At least 4 years, man.
Okay.
But sorry, I'm not rushing. I found this new opportunity to train kids like basketball trainer.
Okay.
So I'm gonna be doing that. Work wise, full time.
I'm gonna have to get with you on that.
Yeah, man. Tap in,
your
man.
boy was
Tap in, man. Yeah. We'll have the gym up and ready.
Okay. See, when you said basketball, I was like, huh? What?
Yeah, just to plug that real quick. So it's Skill Lab Vancouver. First franchise of the Skill Lab coming to Canada. We got our man Michael Lancaster.
Okay.
His name's Micah Lancaster, professional NBA player, and it's his brand.
Okay.
So it's first time we're bringing that over here to Canada.
Okay.
So it'll be a real establishment.
We definitely got politic on that. I got a buddy. He has a basketball camp in Hawaii.
Oh, okay.
And he played college ball, and he had a couple of pro athletes come out there and stuff. So he wanted to actually try to bring a team out here, a young, high school team to play some teams out here and stuff. So we definitely gonna politic on that, because again, sports is another way. I know basketball kept me from getting in trouble.
Yeah, for sure. That was probably my number one thing that kept me out of trouble. Right, I'm just trying. At certain points it was hard, but if it's like mischief or baskets, then I'm gonna try to get baskets.
Yeah.
And also one more thing I will be doing is coaching.
Okay.
I coached the high school that I graduated from. I coached the team there.
Okay.
That's a great way to give back to the game itself, and also it's a good way to just be around the youth, like the kids, because you look at the kids and then you know where we're going, right? As people. And then if you don't like certain ways that you think it's gonna go, then you got the chance to correct it. The way you see fit.
Yeah. Positive influence.
Yeah, for sure.
To counter that negative that we were just talking about, So.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Just giving, the usual cliche lines. And, for sure.
That's dope, man. So any shout outs, anything you want to get off your chest?
Stay tuned or you're gonna miss out. Stay tuned right now, or you're gonna a couple years down the line, you're gonna be like, I missed out on the early train.
Definitely.
That's Nakio, Nakio, on all platforms: Apple Music, Spotify, SoundCloud. Find me anywhere. Also, shout out to my mother, shout out to my brothers, shout out to my father, and shout out to everyone here at Beyond the Lyrics. Right, Kosha, I just met you today. Shout out to you, making everything much smoother for us.
Yeah.
Also, man, peace to the gods, peace to the earths as well out there. Salute to everybody doing what they can, to push the needle moving in the right direction.
That's what's up. See, he's sharp with it.
Peace.
No doubt, no doubt. So, thank you, Nakio, for sliding through. And now we going on to our next section. And I'm gonna step away so we can let
this unsavory character.
Yeah, I'm definitely got the way they be going at it in here.
Let me just say this: if we are starting at unsavory, oh my God, we are going to go to so many deranged places. Is where this is going. Well, before we get to me telling you 15 reasons why you're an asshole, let's just get the business end out of the way. It's a free Sudan. It's free West Bank, free Gaza, free Venezuela. And if you have a problem with that out there, I want you to find the world's most diseased dick and suck it unprotected. Thank you very much.
Wow. We
started on a strong note. Let's go.
He always makes an entrance every time.
Well, you can't just start off the interview boring, right? And my name is Redshirt. No, my name is Kava1, by the way. So if you have a problem with what I just said, you can find me, Kava1.
Oh, damn.
No, it's good to be here.
That was blasphemous.
Hey, that's a throwback. There's a throwback. I see you.
Yeah,
nice. Absolutely. It is good to be here. There's a lot of really cool stuff going on in Canadian battle rap right now.
Heck yeah.
I am fucking excited. Tomorrow night, I am in Kelowna for the BVB event. It is Hip Hop at District because they haven't rebranded the event as its own event yet, so that's fucking exciting.
Nice.
We got 4 battles happening tomorrow. Some cool music sets. That's going to be a fun one. But of course, we have Roasted Season 6 coming up August 31st.
Yes.
Bully Studios. We, of course, have the barbecue happening before that. It is a time-honored fucking tradition, let me just say. And if you want to be at the barbecue, you can just hit us up. Set the Bar Entertainment on Insta, or just join the group on Facebook. That's where all the chaos happens. You know what I mean?
There you go. You too can get harassed by Mike Simpson.
Oh, dude, it is a rite of passage. The red shirt Mike harassment is something I think 3/4 of this room has endured at some point.
Yeah, exactly. So actually, I got to check out Spud last night.
Yes,
man,
he's good.
He is
Spud and Creative. That's our main event for this August 31st event. And this is going to be fucking insane.
Yeah, dude.
So Spud was one of those guys who was one of the top guys in Alberta for the longest time.
Mm-hmm.
And then he just fucked off and disappeared for a while. And then after a decade of being away from battle rap, he comes back to an event a year ago with a battle on 4 days' notice because the guy's opponent bailed out. And he's like, yeah, sure, I can come back right now. And on 4 days' notice, he just bodied this guy in a 1-rounder. Wow. It was not close.
Nice.
And since then, he's had a couple. He's been killing it. He's really dope. You probably saw his Johnny Knox battle.
Actually, I saw him versus Trips.
I
was interested in it because it was I don't want to use this term in a way where it's derogatory to one side or the other, but a real rapper, a musician versus a battle rapper. And I used to actually also, just on some randomness, I was signed to the same label as Doom Squad, and
you're looking at the way back battles. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it was way the hell back there.
Shout out to Doom Squad. Shout out to Kripel. I'd love to see all those guys battle again.
Yeah.
Seeing Trips back in the ring. Trips was a fucking presence, man. That guy was very fun to watch in the ring. I'd love to see him back.
That's one thing I do tend to find when you get the battlers that are also musicians. It's they're usually very clean because they're just used to performing flawlessly, and it seems to come more naturally to them.
I think it works in a few different ways. I think yes, you get a little bit more of a clean presentation, but also the flip side is a lot of the time, especially when they're rappers who aren't used to
freestyle rebuttals.
Well, switching up their cadences. If you're a rapper who rides a beat really well, but you get in the pocket and you stay in it, once you get into a battle, if you try to stay in that flow pocket, if you try to hold the same cadence for a while, you're just gonna look stupid, bro. You gotta be able to, you gotta be able to switch up your cadences, switch up your flow, all these sort of things. You gotta be able to do that because it is a cappella. There is no beat, there is no drums for you to work with, so you have to create your own canvas. And so I think that's something that oftentimes you get, MCs who make music, they have to adapt to.
Yeah.
So I think each type of person, whether they're an MC or a comedian or a first-time performer or whatever, they have their own sort of things that they have to adapt to when they first start to battle. And it's just a matter of like how quickly do they spot those problems, spot those pitfalls, and then address them.
Yeah, on the fly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That main event battle gonna be absolutely incredible.
Yes,
I think
very
Spud
much.
versus Creative. Creative is a dude I cannot. I could waste the next 45 minutes talking about how proud of Creative I am. Like the dude has been, I think he just finished a. What's it called? A paddle, like a canoe trip.
I was kind of watching that.
Cayucit all the way down to somewhere in Seattle, where they have like the tribal journeys where they stop off at each of the tribes every day. And everyone sort of heads down via canoe, and that's looks like it was an amazing time. He's a dude who's very much a cultural leader in his community and in a lot of communities around his community.
It's cool to see. He's definitely like a source of energy and source of light for his people, and you can see how they really rally around him.
And like you can see it from here, but if you see it in person, and I know Slaw can back me up on this one later, when you see the amount of love he gets in his own community, the amount of we were talking earlier about how kids are the next generation, and you see a lot of these children in the Cayucit community are looking up to him as he is the guy bringing back their culture and teaching them all their songs and all their dances, and you see just the sheer amount of admiration that this entire next generation has for him. Like you can't help but be impressed.
No.
So that's amazing. So I'm really excited for that battle. That's going to be a crazy main event for this one. The co-main event is Rocky Nelson, who's been on fire for a bit. He cooled off a little bit against Gobi 1 because they agreed to 90-second rounds, and Rocky wrote 75 and Gobi wrote 2.5 minutes. Yeah. As is battle rap tradition. We don't give a shit about time limits because, some jackass host doesn't enforce them.
Yeah.
Looking at you, Mir.
I was just gonna say, how are you gonna get yourself out of this one?
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's my, like, we have a time-honored tradition in Vancouver of me forgetting to check, like, how long people's rounds are.
Yeah.
Literally, I think Hardbody, your battle against Noble was, like, the last time where I actually, paid attention to time limits because they had, said specifically, we need this time limit, blah, blah, let's enforce this.
Yeah.
Other than that, like, I'm like, if motherfuckers want to rap, let them rap. And if you suck, then that's your problem. You know what I mean? Like,
well, we know you'll just let him go, as proven by Willie B's sponsor list.
That was a special moment, given that like his introduction alone ran like 4 minutes or something like that.
Well, it's the first time I've ever seen time called on an intro.
You're not wrong. But Rocky, so going back to this upcoming event, August 31st, because we are trying to stay on message here, buddy. Come on.
That's true.
Look at you trying to derail me. I am the ADHD one in this group. Thank you very much.
I have actually told Kim how you are able to stay on a conversation. You can multitask like 5 different ones. You'd be like, I'll get back to that in a sec, bro. And then you'll like finish off, and then you'll go, and what you were saying, but it's like masterful, man. Dude, it's like an orchestra guy. Like
as an ADHD motherfucker, and that is the technical term for people with ADHD, by the way.
Yeah.
My favorite thing in the world is when I'm able to Russian nesting doll 5 conversations into one. When you're like, okay, but in order to finish this conversation, I need to start this one. And then you do like 5 layers of that. And the end of this story allows you to finish the next one, which allows you to finish. And all of a sudden you're back in like, I don't know, like, how did the 1973 Stanley Cup Finals end? And you're like, what happened? Where did we go? And it's a beautiful thing.
All of a sudden, it full circles back to what you were originally talking about, and you feel like you just got back from like.
And speaking of full circles,
you just got zapped back into like the present. Oh,
yeah, absolutely. But speaking of full circles, Rocky Nelson is going up against some fellow who's rather round named Red Shirt Mike.
Yeah.
You like how I did that one? You like that? That was good, right? That was good.
Yeah.
So I'll be going up against Rocky in the co-main event. That's going to be a lot of fun.
Without giving away too much, I don't know. I want to ask, how do
you want
to
ask what my approach is?
Yeah,
I'm literally just wrapping 3 rounds. So did you see my battle against JB Styles?
Yes.
The important thing to know about my battle versus JB Styles is I spent the entire 3rd round talking about how his aunt was a failed potato farmer.
Yes.
Because I think it's important that we all know each other's relatives' agricultural failures. And so when I battle Rocky, I think every round is going to be about one of his extended relatives' failures at achieving a goal. So, like, Maybe his dad failed to open an insurance business. I don't know. We're gonna find out though, and we're gonna find out together because I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing.
Tree fucked up.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be fun. So I really like Rocky as a performer. I think Rocky is really good at writing and just punching back to back to back. But
I love that style.
I also think that I'm really good at punching back to back to back.
You're a very cerebral attacker for sure.
And yes, I could absolutely beat Rocky by just clowning on him and making him look stupid. But like, where's the fun in that? If what you're good at is similar to one of the things I'm good at, well, let's compete at that.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to beat somebody in a game of golf with the body check. It's essentially what I'm trying to say. You know, which is a terrible metaphor, but we're going to go with it anyway.
You're going to keep it gentlemanly, you're saying?
Yeah, more or less. You know?
Okay.
Other than the fact
That's
that,
out
you know,
of character for you.
Yeah, absolutely. I am a problem. What can I say? So then next up on the card, moving, of course, down the card, we have Fuller versus Papa Oscar. Fuller, of course, being the guy who I just absolutely smoked in Edmonton a few months ago. He died in that ring. It was not pleasant for him. I mean, he tried, but like he was going against a monster and one who was humble, no less.
Yeah.
No, but Fuller's really dope. Fuller is very much a complete package of an MC in terms of like he's got some jokes, he'll have some wordplay in there, he'll sort of mix it up.
He's a Swiss Army knife.
Yeah, and OZ is like a Canadian battle rap legend. Like he battled on the first ever King of the Dot card back when they were in a park in Toronto.
Yeah, I
know
remember
what I mean?
that. I
So,
remember that.
like-
Chronic battled Pat Stay in that same.
Yeah,
I'm pretty
back
sure.
in those days. So that's absolutely
when it was in the alleys. Yeah.
That's gonna be fun. We have I'm forgetting one because I know Polly. Whatever. We'll skip one for a second and circle back to it. Aaron versus Tech Pro. That's going to be a fun one. Tech Pro coming out of Winnipeg. He's traveling out with Spud, and Benny's coming through, and Benny's a super dope guy. But Tech Pro is very much one of those guys who very aggressive delivery, and he can punch really well. He's going up against Aaron, who you know Aaron, of course.
Yes, yeah.
Aaron is a guy who he's had some major breakthroughs in the last couple of years.
I actually
up until
watched him
somebody
battle Coleslaw.
over there, Coleslaw, completely destroyed his momentum. Jesus Christ! But you'll be talking to her in a second, so I'll let her talk about that. So Aaron's going up against Tech Pro, and that's going to be a lot of fun. These are two guys that when they have those breakthrough battles, like each time they hit that next level, it's a sight to behold. And if they have it at the same time, oh boy, this is going to be a fun battle. Let me just say there. Polly Free versus Shiva.
Is this his last battle? I think
Polly is doing
something
one
like
battle
that.
after this.
Okay,
Polly is
he's
gonna
doing
battle
two really close together.
He's going to battle somebody in Edmonton for their Wild Game 2 card in September, and that he's claiming as his last battle. But let me be honest, retirement in battle rap
really
is not
happen.
a real like.
Yeah.
You know, the amount of people who've said the amount of people like, I retire from battle rap. I'm like, it's a fucking hobby. What are you doing? Like, did you
SoulCon came back,
Did
man.
you retire from Dungeons and Dragons too? Is that what you did? Did you retire from playing basketball? No, you got old, you fucked up your ankle, and you don't get to do it as much, but you still love it and would love to do it when you can. Thank you. And no, I wasn't taking shots at you with the old comments. I was absolutely taking shots at myself, thank you. I just hit 34 a couple weeks ago, and let me tell you, I am feeling like I am aging in dog years, so I am at least 70 right now is what's going on. But like, that's going to be fun, because it's one of Paulie Freeze's second last battle. He's also looking to bounce back from an absolute spanking that Pepe gave him in Calgary. So Paulie has like a lot on the line for like, he wants to get his pride back, and he wants to really be, showcase how good of a rapper he is.
End on a good note.
Yeah, and Shiva has been steadily getting better. And these guys can both rap their ass off.
Oh yeah.
So you talk like the elements of MCing with flow and cadences and different rhyme patterns and all that. These guys are going to be on that shit. And to me, it's the question of, okay, who can work their punches better? Because the rest of it, like, they're going to be so fucking good at. And then we get to the rookie section of the card, and I'm trying to break this down quickly because, like, it's a great card. It's an amazing card. If you don't go, you're a terrible fucking human being and should rethink every decision you made until now. But, like, we've got other shit to talk about as well, There's a lot going on.
True that.
So we have the rookie, the three so-called rookie battles. So starting from the top, we have Navaya, who just debuted in Kelowna a few months ago. Absolutely killed her debut. one of the most impressive debuts I've seen in a little bit. And I've seen a lot of debuts. Honestly, these last couple years have been really good for debuts in BC. I'm going to say that. We've had so many, whether it's... I know Hard Body you battled before, but it's long enough. I'm counting it as the dope debuts. I'm sorry, buddy, but I'm counting it as like a dope, like, new age debut. He killed it. Noble did great. We had like Shiva's debuted.
Channel 5.
Channel 5. Navaya just killed it. We've got Vito, who I'm going to be talking about in a second, who's going to be an absolute monster in the ring. But yeah, Navaya absolutely killed it. It was great. And she's going up against Justified, who has recently started actually writing for battles.
Oh, wow.
For the longest time, Justified was just the guy you put up against a rookie when you're like, I have no idea what to expect.
He was the Brooklyn Brawler of set
Yeah,
the
exactly.
bar.
But I'm expecting good things from Navaya. But at the same time, like, Justified, like, when he wrote for this, what's it called, Call Up Season 5, he did good, man. He did well. So that's going to be a nice...
That was his battle against Channel 5 again? The sequel?
Yeah. No, not the Channel 5 one. There was one after that. Crap. I'm trying to remember who it was. We did 7 events in 7 months, and it's all kind of a bit of a blur.
It's a blur, yeah.
Right now, I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
And it was like 7 and 7 and 9 events in 10 months. So it was a lot going on.
Yes.
But yeah, so from there we have Vito, who I mentioned is a rookie, but also Vito's been around battle rap for like 12 years, critiquing and helping to foster like online battle rap communities and that rapping online. So he went up against Bill Collector, who, like, if you know battle, battle rap, one of the best.
Love Bill Collector.
One of the best from Pennsylvania, which is a state where a lot of dope battlers come out of.
Oh, hell yeah.
You know what I mean?
We were just talking about how a lot of guys rap like they're rapper, like the MCs that come in battle rap, they got to rap like they're on cadence with their beat. And I was going to say Bill Collector and B Magic are pretty much the only two.
Dog, you got to include Nestle in that conversation.
True. I haven't seen him in a while though. He's
battled a couple of times, so he keeps saying that he's retired, but again, there is no such thing as retirement in battle rap.
Yeah, no doubt.
That is not a thing. No matter how much people try to claim they're done, they all come back.
They always take a plate.
Why did I have to put on that? Why did I have to put on that voice when I say that? That's just creepy. What am I doing?
Staying on brand.
Wait, no. Come on. The brand is obnoxious. It is not creepy. Let's be very fucking clear about this here, buddy. But yeah, no. So then, so Vito is going to be an absolute monster. I'm excited to see how he takes that incredible pen game and he performs, in real life when there's no retakes.
Where is he from?
He's from Vancouver, bro.
Really?
He's a monster. So he's going to be killing it.
So what stage was it when he battled Bill Collector?
It was one of those online. So that's what I said. Like, he's been battling online. He's been doing audio battles, but he hasn't stepped in the ring yet, which is why he's so low on this card. So I think it's most likely going to be the only time he's low on a card for a long time.
Yeah.
Given, like, where my expectations are for him. Master Kai, on the other hand, another dude who we mentioned earlier, he had a great debut, and Bonafide as well had one, but that's a whole other thing. Master Kai, he had a great debut. His follow-up, he kind of wasn't fully memorized, and so his performance was a bit shaky, but the pen game had improved. So I'm very interested to see how he bounces back from that for his third one, especially going up against somebody who, like, if he adapts well, like if Vito raps well, he might catapult himself into Vancouver top 10 very fast.
Wow.
So, like, Kai's got to be on his shit for this battle. And then we've got Beach Tits going up against Big Bear. And neither of them have ever battled before, so I have no idea what to expect from this. Beach Tits just hit me up randomly out of the blue saying, because she was at the collab event that we did with Icon, where, again, we had Hard Body versus Save the Whales. I kept saying Noble because I keep forgetting his rap name. But she had hit me up there saying she wanted to battle and then just left the city for like 6 months. And it's finally like, okay, I'm ready to do this battle now. So she's been wanting to debut. Big Bear is, what's his name? Steve. Oh, God, what is his fucking rap name? Red Eyed Jedi's kid.
Red Eyed
So
Jedi.
his adult son is ready to battle. So we're like, okay, let's get them some, some experience so we can book like the father-son duo in a 2-on-2 because that would be a lot of fun down the line.
Wow, that would be crazy.
This whole card is phenomenal. It's going to be really, every battle is going to be entertaining. Every battle is going to be a lot of fun. I hope any of you listening right now that we see you there because it's going to be an amazing time.
Nice.
And I just summed up the card in, what was that, about 15 minutes?
Yeah, that's
gotta be like record time for staying mostly on track for me, right?
You're rocking your ADHD right now.
Oh my god, it is. It's gonna come back with a vengeance later. I'm gonna like get home and like forget where I parked my car, even though I have a driveway. It's gonna be weird.
Well, I have faith in you.
I appreciate
You're
that.
able to freestyle.
That makes one of us, so that is wonderful to know. But no, so there's that going on. We've got we're going to be starting to plan our October event very soon. We don't have a date locked in, but we're going to be starting to do October. We're going to slow down the pace a little bit because it turns out that you have to be a bit of an insane person to do 7 events in 7 months. And while I do match the criteria, I would rather get out of that.
Do you foresee before the end of 2024, like, is there like a set the bar version of a WrestleMania? Is there some crown jewel on the calendar event that is yet to materialize?
Let's be clear. The crown jewels are my jewels. I just said the brand isn't creepy. What are you doing letting me say things like that? Come on.
Hey, man, I'm here to...
I think
I'm just here bringing the truth to the
We absolutely need to
light.
have a conversation about the quality of co-host you have here, Tasky. He should not be allowed to get away with this, is what needs to happen.
He doesn't know how to screen proper guests that he brings out here. Clearly.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a problem.
I gotta tighten that filter a little bit.
Yeah, nah. So it's I'll say this. So we're planning on an October event, and then possibly a November event. We have decided it is a bad idea to do events in December because they have always failed because it's so close to Christmas and all that.
Yeah.
We're gonna try to do like a Christmas get together where we give everyone a couple of weeks. We're like, hey, we're just gonna have a pop night. There's no battles, just come out, shoot the shit, like that sort of stuff. So if you're expecting like a big time event to happen before the end of the year.
Well,
no,
like,
our big events have already happened this year.
Okay.
I would say Fully Reloaded was pretty freaking like crazy. Yeah, we lost a couple battles, but I mean that was a good card. Like that was
okay? I guess
Ellipsis versus G Show. That was Mike Wild versus
and
Shine.
the winner of that's supposed to go against Mike Wild, right?
Well, here's the thing. I don't know that battle had a winner. They were both crazy. One of them is going to battle Mike Wild sooner or later, and we're not quite sure the timing on that because like I think like. While we are trying to develop a bunch of new talent to the point where they're ready for this sort of stuff, there are only so many marquee battles that make sense right now. And if we're going to book 2 of Vancouver's top guys against each other, I want to make sure at this point that we are branding the entire event around that
top to bottom,
that battle happening.
Yeah.
And there's some ideas in the chamber about that. But nothing that we've worked on enough that I'm willing to, share it in a public setting for, the 4 people who haven't turned this off yet because they're tired by the sound of my voice. But yeah, no, so it's absolutely going to happen. But yeah, we don't know the timing on that yet. But there's so much that I want to see happen. Like I've got a couple of matches that I want to see G Show in. I've got like a couple things I want to see Coleslaw in. I've got a couple things like Ellipsis, Mike Wild. I think Shine 9's getting to that point.
Actually, I had a question I wanted to ask. I've meant to ask you this every time we've had you on before, but I forget.
Yes, I stand by the fact that roast beef is the worst sandwich at Subway. Sorry, was that not the right question?
We'll come back to that.
Okay,
we'll put a pin in that.
Okay, let's go.
So like I don't mean to like compare because I hope it doesn't come off like as an insult, but like,
is this the RJ question?
No. This is, King of the Dot has a chain. Will set the bar. Do you see value in a title, a championship?
So here's
set the bar champion.
Here's the thing. Titles are a really great thing around establishing a narrative. It's this guy is the best right now. This battler is killing it. This is like the top. This battler is a top dog. Great for that. I don't personally like titles as far as like, unless you are the big leagues.
A prestigious
like
league, yeah.
If like Smack was to come up with the title, or King of the Dot brings back the title, or RBE. I'm cool with it.
They don't have a title for King of the Dot right now?
Well, they do, but I think I don't know if anybody has it right now.
Is defending it? Yeah.
Because Real Deal gave it up.
I was kind of thinking about that the other day. I was like, who has the chain right now?
I'm hoping we see a new title reign soon. But well, now, the flip side of that, though, is that if we aren't going to have a title, we need to make sure that we are very good around establishing narratives around battles so that there are good discussions and easy to follow stories going into
that
each
can
battle.
justify title matches and shit like that.
Well, that can justify the battles that we're putting on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I think, like, so title matches, they basically establish their own narrative. And you can build a narrative from there, and it's easy and it's good. But I don't really like having titles for smaller leagues personally. Doesn't mean we won't have it. It just means right now I'm kind of not for it.
Does it have any increased drawing power for both people coming to watch or for other battlers, pro battlers wanting to come? Do you find that?
So I think, like, as far as battlers visiting the league, no. Because if you're like a big name battler who gets paid to go around, you don't care if there's a local league title match. You know what I mean? Like, if we booked like Ellipsis versus A-Word, which is a battle that a lot of people were wanting, or like if I booked what else have we been looking for? If I booked like a B Magic versus Mike Wild, which is like his dream battle, you know, like
I'm gonna be there for that.
B Magic would never be like, oh, I was thinking of coming, but they also have a title match that day. I'm definitely gonna come. That like that. You know, like once you hit a certain level.
Well, what about if B Magic just said, I want to take that title? Like, that's what I mean. Like, do other guys, do you find
there's no way in fuck I would let an out-of-towner
take
battle for a local title. Because then you are contractually obligated to bring them back or you look like a dumbass. And any like, you know, performer worth their salt, if they realize you have to book them in order for their title, like for your title to come back home,
they're
just going to jack the performance fee up. Like, you know what I mean? Like, because that's a smart thing to do in that case.
That's what Ultimate Warrior did to Vince on WrestleMania.
Exactly. So there's no way that there's no way that you set that up.
Yeah.
So, you know, and that's also a match that doesn't need a title match to have a narrative. You know what I mean? Like, Mike Wild getting the battle of his dreams, you know, a big shot against an opponent, like, that's a narrative that establishes itself. You know, Ellipsis versus A-Word, the Christian battler versus the guy who, you know, his first viral moment was about atheism. Like, that's a narrative that establishes itself, and so on and so forth. Like, you know, at the end of the day, you have to look at what use is the narrative gonna pay.
True that.
Yeah.
Well, with no further ado,
are we introducing the next?
Yes, because we're talking about narratives.
Let's go.
The most recent battle that I saw of our next guest, Coleslaw, there was a huge narrative with Caustic and Coleslaw.
Okay, yeah.
And it was definitely a juxtaposition for sure.
So if we're going to talk about the narrative, let's talk about the narrative for Coleslaw's last battle. And the guys coming up is going to be Coleslaw. And you guys are almost done hearing my voice right now. So, like, pray to whatever, or thank whatever God you believe in. You know, that's what I'm saying. Unless it's that one, you know which one is wrong. Don't make me tell you.
Yeah. I gotta let you introduce the battle rappers because you always do it the best.
All right. So we had a really cool battle or narrative going to this last battle where Rupert Common, for the longest time, was the poetic battler of Vancouver. He was the guy who was very, you know, woke before like white people ruined the term. You know, and let's be honest, like those of you use it as a pejorative, like, dog, you are very uncomfortably white. And that's coming from me, and you hear this voice. This is a very white sounding voice.
This coming from like neon white.
Dog, I honestly, like, the sun reflects me. It's not the other way around. That's how white I am.
Exactly.
No, honestly, like, it's a so Coleslaw versus Rupert Common. Coleslaw's been, you know, on the rise. She impressed Disaster when he came up here. And he brought her down to this Battle of the Bay legendary event, taking on Caustic, where she held her own. She did us all very proud. And so we thought it was the time to pull the trigger of the old guard of woke, poetic battlers versus the new one. And what we saw was basically the battle of the night, this incredible clash between two very cerebral minds that, you know, approach battle rap much differently than anybody else. And it was a phenomenal piece of content. Look out for that on the Set the Bar Entertainment channel. And ladies and gentlemen in listener land, may I introduce to you the one and only Coleslaw.
Thank you, Mike, for that amazing introduction.
Yeah, he's pretty good at those. He's good at some things.
Absolutely.
So how's it going?
Pretty good. Thanks for having me on the show.
I'm very excited to have you. My girlfriend Kim, I guarantee you she's watching right now.
Shout
she's
out
super
Kim.
excited.
Hi Kim. Thanks for putting in the good word.
Yeah, she actually told me all about your battle with Rupert Commons. She watched the live stream. I was busy that day. I didn't get to, so I'm still looking forward to watching that. But I studied up on it, and that's where I kind of noticed there's a lot of similarities. And both me and Kim kind of like, this is like a mirror match. This is crazy. So
that was the first time I'd ever heard the term before. I'm learning all this like battle rap. I do this for a living. I promise. I'm really good at this. Vernacular. For a long time, I felt like very much on the outside of the community, and it's only recently I've started to just like relax and be myself. But I'm beginning to like, I guess, assimilate more and make more friends in the community. I'm picking up all this lingo like mirror match and real talk third and like all of these phrases for things that I recognized but didn't know what they were before. Yeah. So it's kind of cool to be able to understand them and apply them.
That's awesome. Yeah. So with that, like, were you aware that's kind of what you were walking into preparing for that battle? Like,
oh yeah, so much so. Like when I started researching Rupert, I was just like, I have a crush on this guy. Like I was like,
there we go.
I was like, how can one of my first notes was just like, he's like me but cooler. Like he's just like done all of these really cool things. Like I have so much respect for him because he we share a lot of left-leaning ideals, but he seems to put a lot of them into practice and kind of just unapologetically creates art, and that's something I want to do more of. So yeah, I was just like, this guy is so cool, and I was messaging Mike like, he's me, like what am I supposed to say to him? So I had to come up with a bunch of different strategies, and some I discarded and some I kept. But
it's quite a difference from your previous battle before that as well.
Aaron, yeah.
That was we were there for that as well. Who I remember that actually, I guess is it bad etiquette to ask who the backed out opponent was, or
who?
Because I remember hearing something like that. It was a 1 round because an opponent.
Yeah, it was a 1 round. Mike, who was it? Mike, who backed out for Aaron? Who was it?
Oh fuck. I don't remember. He had an opponent who backed out.
I had an opponent who backed out, and I had been prepping for that opponent for months. So then when he backed out, I mean, initially there's like, well, is that like a little bit of relief? Like, oh, okay, I guess I can stop working as hard as I'm working. And then we picked up Aaron. So then I took some of the stuff that I had written for him, I modified it, and I wrote some original stuff as well.
I noticed, you had a unique approach, like his body language and his mannerisms. Yeah. And then it kind of, I saw it kind of mess with him when it was his turn, because then he's kind of like,
super self-conscious.
Yeah, trying not to do it. So that was an original approach, and I was able to appreciate that.
Thank you. I mean, one of the great things about battle rap as an art form, or just any art form that you're there and you're watching and you're studying, is you pick up stuff that you're like, oh, I want to try that, or I'd like to apply that. And I'm always trying to think of new things to do, but sort of that making fun of the way somebody talks or walks or doing the imitation mid-round. I saw that, I was like, I got to apply that for him. So like getting like you're what was it? It was like you're a spineless carbon copy of every rapper ever made. Ball cap, ball sack, jacket, chain, each, like this kind of stuff. And I wrote that line, and I was like, I really hope he's wearing it, right? Because I had it, and then I saw him walk in, and my friend G-Show, I was like, he's wearing it. He's wearing the outfit.
It's a green light.
Amazing. Yeah, it was awesome.
So what was it that inspired you to start into battle rap? Was it an event, a moment, a battle rapper per se, or?
It was, I mean, I've done performance and writing like my entire life. Like I grew up doing like public speaking competitions and comedy. I started doing comedy when I was like 14. And I've done slam poetry. I've been on the Vancouver slam team. Like just anything that involves words and being on stage, I've tried. And then my cousin told me that he had a friend that was part of the underground Vancouver battle rap scene, and I had never heard of it before. And I was like, okay, that sounds fun. Let me try. So I messaged Red Shirt Mike, like, I don't know when this was like 5 or 6 years ago, and like I pulled into the Peacock Lounge, and my mom drove me there in the Prius, and like I just stepped, like, what is this? Like, just feeling such like an alien, like an alien, yeah, literally like an alien. And then I had my first round, and my first line ever was like, it was me against a girl, and I was like, I don't understand why this battle is chick versus chick. I only signed up for this shit so I could snap off some dick. And everyone was like, whoa! And it was just like, I won that, and on the next day people were talking about it online, and I was like, okay. But I just kept doing it kind of as like, I don't know, just like as a fun thing. And then it's only been more recently that I've started like really, really working hard and like really taking it very, very seriously when I get a match.
And like, what does that look like when, like, is it more studying of your opponent? Is it more trying to invent new schemes and new techniques? Like, what entails that increased workload you've taken on now?
So like I'm pretty crazy about it, and I mean, like, I, especially after I went to Oakland, and that was really amazing experience, but it also made me realize like it's not enough to just be like one-off good. Like, you have to keep putting in the effort and keep putting in the work and like really, really grind for the stuff that you want. And like, coming back from that battle, I kind of just came with like a renewed work ethic. So now when I get like an opponent, like I map out how many days do I have, and like I'm like, what day do I want to be done first draft? What day do I want to be done the second draft? And then I'll start like doing a bunch of research, which I include as its own section of time to like let it like marinate, and then I like start putting in like, I want to write like X many words a day, and sometimes it takes me like 4 to 6 hours to just like get words that I'm happy with, and it's like hard. It's it's, I mean, anybody that's like really seriously into it, it's like hard work. And then you go and then you get like battle of the night, and it's amazing, and everyone's like, that was so cool, that was so awesome. But like, I mean, anybody that's listening to this, like, who wants to really do it, like, it is work. And like, anybody who's, I think, you know, been at a pretty high level of rap battling, like, knows that, how much work it is. But it's good work too. It's like really fulfilling to be able to put in the grind and then put it onto stage and be like, all of those hours and sweat and tears and long voice notes to my boyfriend just monologuing like I'm so close, sounding like a crazy person. Like, it does pay off, but it's really hard.
I was gonna maybe ask, have you considered using it, because you're a political activist? Yes. Is there, I haven't really seen you pull out something where you're like sticking your flag in the ground and using this battle as the platform. Do you see battle rap as something to use to make those points, or is it just more something that you do separate on the side that artistically kind of satisfies you and stuff like that?
I think like one thing I love about battle rap is it, for me, it feels very democratic, and it feels very, I don't know, like diplomatic. Like, you have two people that come together and they're sharing ideas and they're sharing opinions, and like versus me, like versus AA Ron, I wasn't necessarily making like a political statement, but by me just being a woman, you know, and just being like a woman that he very like publicly says he doesn't want to fuck, so that puts me in a different category of woman. Just like being a woman up against AA Ron and like beating him is a political statement in itself. Yes. Just being like, I can be myself, I can be a girl, I can be awkward, I can be quirky, I can be whatever, and I can still take on a guy, it's a political statement to me. And in my earlier battles, I always try to incorporate like environmental things into my rounds. So like,
I remember you said something about the lead. The lead is poisonous, so you won't shoot him in that.
That was my whole thing for AA Ron. I was like, I'll fuck you up sustainably, and then I went on a whole rant with that. But yeah, so And I mean, like Rupert Common, he did a rap recently outside his MLA's office about Palestine, which was so cool.
Wow.
Yeah, so I'd love to do something like that one day. But yeah, I think by the very essence of me like taking up space in a male-dominated sport, that's a political thing in itself. So I'm happy to just keep doing that.
Would you say that Rupert Commons is probably your favorite battle so far then?
Man, my favorite battle. I'd say
you're pretty decorated, you know, like the Billy Shakes storybook.
Oh, yeah.
I was in person for that, and I was like, oh my God. This is happening. Like, I knew it was going to be a thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like people talk about when Disaster battled Cannabis and Cannabis pulled out the notebook.
Yeah.
It's like, it's a thing. It's a thing. So now when I saw this, I'm like, there's going to be a thing. Coleslaw storybook. I'm like, trust me. People are
Dude,
gonna...
somebody offered to buy that from me for like $200. They were like, yeah. I was like, I should have just done it. I was like, no, I got to give it to Shakes. It's his. But like, yeah, people were into it. No.
Shakes, you got to sell that, man. You know you got to do that. Why are you standing in the way of that, Shakes?
Yeah. No, I was just trying to. I was like, no, I just give it a. I don't know. My favorite battle, I think, was Caustic. It was like my hardest battle.
The whole experience.
The whole
overall?
experience, I think. But sometimes the toughest stuff that you go through can be the most transformative. Just because it was such a crazy experience. But yeah, I don't know. Like, I love battles against guys like Common or Shakes who are very progressive guys. So they're not gonna go like attack me for being a woman like the first thing at least. It might come on later, but like that's fun because I know I get to like approach it from a slightly different angle. But any battle's a good battle. I don't really have like something that's higher than the other.
Okay, now that I just remembered, I have to ask you because I don't think it ever really came out. So was there a strategy in the dress in Oakland? me and Kim are dying to know this. Me and Kim are dying to know
what was the strategy? Okay, there's actually kind of, so no, there was no, I mean,
because you didn't really mention anything in your scheme, so I was like, oh, did she abandon the plan?
No, there was no plan. I think like when I first started rap battling, I tried to dress how I saw other rappers dress, which was kind of looking back on it, just kind of like, why you gotta do that? Like, why you gotta be that way? Like, that's not me. So the only strategy behind the dress was trying to be hyper feminine in a space that's not feminine. That was the only thing I was trying to do. I was just trying to insert some energy that wasn't normally there. Yeah. There was nothing. I remember I was wearing runners, so I was wearing this like dress and runners. Disaster. I was like, what's Disaster? He's like, you look like a princess. I'm like, thank you. And then I was like, my dad also asked me, like, Dad Slaw. He was like, what are you doing?
Dad Slaw.
Yeah. or Old Slaw.
Old Slaw.
He stole the show.
I love that.
I was walking down the hotel lobby. I was like, how do I look? He's like, you look like art. And I'm like, thanks, Dad. That's all I'm going for. I'm trying to but nah, it's sitting in my closet. I open it, I look at it. I haven't worn it since.
I just remember like seeing you in that, and then Caustic's in a pimp jacket, and I was like, even before any words were said, I was like, this
is gotta be crazy. Yeah. I came up with a line after. I was like, I should have said something about him finding a good use for all the hair on his back or something like that. I was like that, they haunt you. There's like a term for that, like the wit of the stairs. You come back and you're like, oh my God, that would have been perfect. But,
yeah. So
yeah, what is it called? The next day rebuttal. There's another term.
Oh, there's another term. We're learning stuff. Is there any opponents that you would like to see yourself going against? And what are the motivations for those opponents, if there are some?
Yeah. Who would I like to go against? I'd like to go against another female battler at some point. I know there's been some talk of taking me out to Ottawa to battle, and I think that would be super cool, to just shake it up a little bit. G-Show's my friend. It'd be so fun to battle G-Show at some point. I'd love to battle Ellipsis. I even said so, I think in Oakland. They were like, you better shout him out. I was like, okay. They were like, never talk about it again. It was like, so it's a bit awkward, but I'm trying to like work my way up to that because I think he is like the king of Vancouver. And I mean, one thing about battle rappers across the board is we all have the audacity to think we're the best, even when there's evidence pointing to the contrary. So like, you know, like you see the best people battle and you're like, oh, I can do that for sure, right? So I think having the audacity to be like, yeah, I can take that guy on at some point, for sure. And RJ, Sweeter Than a Parfait.
Yeah,
he's been on my ticket for a while in terms of Vancouver battles for sure. Yeah,
that would be dope. I would. Yeah, that would be another, because that would be kind of crazy for Kim, because like you're her favorite battle rapper and that's her homie.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, Kim, you better be in the room.
Her allegiance.
Yeah, pick your side. Pick your side.
I think she's probably gonna take your side. As much as RJ's not gonna be happy to hear that, I just gotta speak the real. I think it's girl power over in our house.
It's been really cool seeing the amount of women who have come out to like that have joined and that feel supported and seen.
Yeah,
I think,
it seems like there's more coming.
Yeah.
And I know you're probably not the kind of person to take credit for that, but I believe that you are an influence on why there is more female battle rappers around here coming around, and that's cool.
I hope so. It's like diversity is so important, not just women, but people of different races, people of different abilities, people of different incomes and jobs and backgrounds. Like, I mean, like that's what makes battle rap such a powerful thing. Is it's an exchange of ideas. It's an exchange of beliefs and stances, and having the ability to go up against someone who's completely different from me in like a structured 90-second round format is like, that's what the love's
both
about.
agree to, and
yeah.
And you just gotta cook whatever you bring into the kitchen and see whose tastes better.
Absolutely.
Are there any other artistic pursuits that are as big in your world as battle rap in the for that upcoming year? Like do you do music as well?
Yeah, I do music, mostly sort of comedic kind of music, meant for like stand-up, sort of like whip out the ukulele at the end of a set or something like that. Yeah, so like my rhyming has definitely come come in clutch there. I love storytelling, I love performing, I love being on stage, anything like that. My day job, I teach swim lessons, and learning how to rhyme stuff on the fly has been really helpful when I'm trying to convince kids to stop crying and start swimming. I'm like, all right, little penguin, jump right in. Now it's time to learn to swim. And then everyone's like, whoa, how'd you do that? I'm like, guys, like...
You gotta know when to apply your skills. You don't just have to do it in the battle rap ring, right?
It's something, yeah, for sure. Good thing to have in my pocket. Very helpful. So
is there any people, places, things you would like to shout out towards the end of our episode here? Sure. Yeah, I'd like to shout out, Red Shirt Mike, the Vancouver rap scene, Disaster, people who have like given me a chance and a platform to step up and show my game. Like this show, like anything that provides rappers an opportunity to really prove themselves or a chance to show themselves, like big shout out to that. Let me think. Hold on. I knew you were gonna ask this question. I had a list. Gutenberg. Yeah. Alexander Gutenberg. Well, today it's Googly Elmo Marconi, the inventor of radio. And in the background here we have I think a Mandarin talk show going on. So I mean, 大家好，听起来有趣. So shout out to them. And 我会说一整二中文, but just a little bit. Talk that shit. Yes. Casual flex at the end. Yeah, casual flex. But fly me out to China. I'd love to do a rap battle there. We need Mike to come in and yell time at the end of that. No, thanks. Just the Vancouver rap battle community has been a great home for me and so many others. So I really appreciate it. Yes. No, we loved having you. We loved having everybody here today. And when is the date of that event again, Mike? For August 31st. August 31st. August 31st. Do your worst.
Bars.
There we go. I'm gonna let Ski come in and close this out. Oh, okay. We got about a minute and a half we're trying to burn. So anybody who watches the program, loves the program, follow the YouTube. That's Beyond the Lyrics 604 on YouTube. And if you are interested in having your local business in the Vancouver area sponsored and get some visibility, not just through this platform, but through everything all the people connected to this platform do. We got musicians here, we got producers here, we got guests here all the time. We building out here, as the homie Ski always says. But yeah, that's our show for today.
Fuck Sporks, pick a lane.
Whoa. And that is the mic drop. Here we go, Duff. Kill that shit. This is Cappuccino signing off. Oh, okay, wait. Okay, yeah. No, the moment's passed. Peace, Vancouver.
profits, profits, keep coming like profits, 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 keep coming like profits.